All right. Comment whenever you're ready.
Obviously, I'm really happy. We had a lot of guys play well. I thought the difference is we obviously came out of the gate and Duke really wasn't themselves at the start, and we got up 10 or 12 points, and our guys just kept fighting. We got confidence from that. I thought our defense was phenomenal. We wanted Plumlee to beat us, and they missed some shots for us too. You have to be good and you have to be lucky to beat a great team, and we were a little bit of both. But really proud of my kids. I've been saying since at Georgia Tech, we're getting better. It just wasn't showing up in the wins and losses. Now in the last couple of days, it's really showed up. So I'm happy for my guy. Really happy for my guys, and watching them play tonight, I think they fully expected to win this game, and that's a really good feeling when you have such a young basketball team to play in such a big stage in such a big game and play with the poise that they played with tonight.
Questions again, raise your hand. Let's get the microphones to you. Please address the question to a specific player. First question, front row.
Mark, Patrick Stevens, just, you got Dez eligible before the start of the season. He's obviously made a huge difference and has obviously the last couple nights. Just how much has he grown over the last several months, and just how much ultimately has that meant to this team getting to a point where it could possibly do some damage here?
Well, I think, one, I had to learn how to coach Dez. Didn't have him all summer. Last year, Dez had two guards that did everything, and he just kind of stood there and shot it, or they threw a lob to him. And now he's had to take a different role. And I think as a coach, you're trying to figure out your team. And, Dez has really stepped up, and Nick Faust has really stepped up. I've been riding Nick all year. I've been on him and about being a better defender and playing with a little bit of poise. So happy for Dez. We knew Dez was a big-time player. Tonight was a big-time performance for him. I'm really happy for him. And he made free throws. 2 weeks ago he was 1 for 5 at the foul line. He was 10 for 10 tonight. I don't forget that. I know he didn't either. But we've been shooting a lot more free throws, and we've been dialing in. So our guys were pretty focused tonight.
Third row.
David Morrison, Greensboro News and Record. Dez, I know you said last night that you grew up watching Jason Williams, among other people. I mean, I was just curious, how hard did Duke recruit you out of college, and then just being a guy from North Carolina, beating Duke in North Carolina, just how does this feel?
They never contacted. I never heard from them. I never got a recruitment letter or anything from Duke. That's because, that could be because there's a lot of players that were better than me in high school. A lot of people consider me a late bloomer or whatever, but, Coach K is a great coach. They have a great program. That tradition is second to none. But, wherever I landed, I was going to do my best and try to, get my best efforts at whatever school I went to, and Maryland's where I'm at.
This is for Coach Mark Turgeon. Mark James from 610 The Fan, WFNZ in Charlotte. Coach, what does it mean for this heated rivalry for you guys to take the rubber game against a team like Duke? And there's been some, obviously, comments about Maryland going to the Big Ten, and for you guys to win this on this stage.
Well, it has nothing to do with the so-called rivalry or not a rivalry. It's about building the program, okay? And we came here 2 years ago, and I was down to 6 guys first day on the job. I didn't really envision this, to be honest with you, at the end of my second year. Dez didn't go through all the stuff I had to go through last year. But for us to beat such a great coach, such a great program, first time they've lost with Kelly, to figure out how to do it, just means a lot to my program. Whether it was Duke or whatever, whoever it was that was ranked high, it's great. It's great for us. And it helps me with my fans. I know that.
On the aisle.
Welburn, WBFT in Sanford. Coach, Duke cut it to 1. You hit a free throw, and then it was a 2-point game, and then Plumlee got called for the charge, and you immediately went on a 17-6 run. What's your memory of that run, what you did well?
Well, we defended well during that stretch. And I just thought we kept guarding. Well, the thing that we've had a really hard time with is just playing with any type of poise. And you look at our first possession of the second half, after they scored, we came down, we used the whole clock, got Jake a wide open 3 in the corner. We couldn't have done that 3 weeks ago. Guys would have dribbled off their knee or shot it before that happened. So we just come a long ways. And I just think that the guys believed, we guarded, felt like we had a good game plan, they executed it. And then guys just kept making plays. We kept getting to the rim. And we felt like that was the only chance we had tonight was to get to the rim. And then, of course, we got to the foul line. We made a lot of free throws.
Coach Alpha, this is Access Sports. I wanted to, you just said a minute ago it was neat to figure out a way to beat Duke with Kelly, that nobody else had done it. What did you figure out that you hadn't seen other people do with him in the lineup?
Well, maybe I'm trying to give myself too much credit, which I'm not trying to do. I apologize for that. My guys just played. Coach Spinelli was his scout. He's like, Coach, we got to switch 1 through 4. And I said, I don't know if we can do it the whole game. I don't want, certain guys guarding. But we stayed small. Our small lineup worked. We've gotten better in our small lineup. We've added more offense. We've just gotten better. And right now it's been a good lineup for us. So we switched. They missed some shots for us. I think our press kind of confused them early. Used 9, 10, 11, 12 seconds before they could get into their offense. A little bit easier to guard that way. So our guys played smart. They knew when to stay in the press, when to get out of it. They knew when to switch. Every adjustment we made during the game, they did it right away. So they're really proud. It's been a battle with this group. So for them to do it, it's a good feeling.
Front row.
Evan Markfield, Associated Press. Dez, you mentioned Duke's tradition. One of those is the floor slap. Were you just feeling a little frisky at one point when you did the floor slap on defense with a couple of minutes left? And how did you feel about the way you were defending them on the perimeter?
I was just really trying to get my guys energized. Being an energy guy, for this team. You know, I have to do whatever I can to get them pumped up. So at that moment, I was just thinking, you know, we have to get a stop. You know, so no shots at Duke or anything like that. But I just want to get my guys energized.
Front row.
Mark, I know you've talked about throughout the season different matchups, different lineups for different matchups. It seemed like this time with Layman in there, going kind of matching up with them, did it feel like you kind of dictated things a little bit more than usual in some ways just with that sort of stuff?
Well, whenever you're playing well, you dictate. When you're not playing well, you can't dictate. As a coach, you sit over there, and when things are going well, it's easier to dictate. So it has really nothing to do with that, except that our guys played well. We keep telling our guys that we were built for March and built for a tournament run because, like, Shaq hardly played last night, but Shaq had huge minutes tonight. Shaq could guard Plumlee. Okay, tomorrow I don't know who we're playing, but it might be a whole different deal. We don't know yet. But we've practiced enough different lineups where we feel comfortable playing any lineup that we have to play. And it was a tough process. It was tough on these guys. And but we felt like we had to do it, and we've gotten better at it. And, you know, we're happy with the win. You know, we're only halfway home, though.
Questions for Nick also. Next question in the back.
Yeah, Jeff Barker with the Baltimore Sun. Mark, you guys seem to be particularly animated and energetic on defense right away, and I saw your defenders were kind of clapping their hands. Was that a point of emphasis to come out and assert yourself defensively immediately?
Well, we came out flat last night, and I could tell by the shoot-around today that we were going to come in focused. And I think by pressing early kind of got us going. And they missed some layups for us at the start, kind of got us going. And you know, they make those layups, it might be a different outcome, but they missed them. We got confident. We're up 12-2. You know, they made a couple runs at us. You know, we would have folded a couple weeks ago, but we didn't fold today. We're growing up.
Back left.
Mark, how have you walked the line with this team between wanting them to be confident in what they're doing out there and playing in the flow, but then also kind of trying to draw them back away from some of the over-aggressive turnovers and shots?
Yeah, it's hard. It's really hard. And, you know, Nick's really tired of me saying be disciplined, under control, don't go crazy on me, Nick. You know, I don't know how many times he's heard that. But with that said, Nick's really growing up. So it's hard. It's hard. But you know what? They're figuring it out. You know what? And the thing is take me out of it. They're gaining confidence in each other and how they need to play to win. You know, I'm just kind of over there putting guys in, but they're just kind of figuring it out as a group, and they have respect for each other as people, and so now they're getting respect for each other as players, and they're playing that way as a team.
Okay, thank you.
What's up, guys?
That's all right. Okay, we're about ready to start with Duke.
I'm good. Thank you.
Yeah, well, yeah, congratulations to Maryland. You know, I mean, they were a hungry team. Yeah, I didn't think we were hungry tonight. And the hungry team, I mean, they're trying to survive, and they played like it. And a lot of teams in that position sometimes get nervous or they make a lot of mistakes, and instead, you know, Maryland rose to the occasion. You know, a lot about tonight is not us, about what we didn't do. It's about Maryland. You know, I thought they were terrific, and Wells built on his performance from last night. A lot of times in tournaments, you know, when one player elevates his game. He's had a good year, and he's a really good player. But in these two games, he's elevated himself, to really a high level. And you can bring everybody with you. I mean, you start playing with a guy who's doing that, and with that sense of urgency. Again, they were deserving of winning. I thought, for us, we were not hungry tonight. Whether we're pacing ourselves or thought we could, we weren't the Duke team that's played most of this season, and especially the last couple weeks. So I'm disappointed in our performance, but also very impressed with the performance of Maryland.
First question.
Coach, Mark James from CBS Radio 610 The Fan, Charlotte. There was a stretch, probably, I don't know, something 6 to 8 minutes towards the end of the game. Ryan Kelly was out. Did you pull him out of the game? Why was that?
Well, we couldn't play defense. They had 4. Did you see that they had 4 guards in? Okay. So if you saw it, that answers the question. They, were, and then Ryan's not, he's not in, look, he's back, but he's not in the shape that he would be normally. And so we had to try to match them and we were playing catch up the whole time. We got it down to 2, and, Mason got inside and we got that charge call. And that was a pivotal time because we had worked, we had a chance then. And then they kind of exploded again to get a double-figure lead.
Coach, this is Al Featherston. I wanted to ask you about the three-point shooting on both sides. Over the season, you've been the best three-point shooting team in the league and the best three-point defense team. They shot very well from 3. You guys didn't today. Was that them? Was it you?
That's a hell of a thing. It's a phenomenon. I mean, we were just here, and you witnessed an amazing thing. I mean, I just wish we were the thing that was amazing. I mean, that's what happens in the game. And, that's why stats and all that are, I mean, those are things that people like to play around with. But when people are put in a position where they have to win, a lot of times they elevate. And that's what Maryland did today. I mean, they were superb tonight. That's why I'm saying, look, I can say all the things we did wrong, but to me, they did their things right better than we did our things wrong. I mean, they were a terrific basketball team tonight.
Brett Friedlander, Wilmington Star News. This is to both of the players, and if Coach wants to chime in too, that's fine. As disappointing as this is, now that it's done, could you turn this into a positive with A, the rest, and B, the practice time now between now and when you play in the next tournament?
Seth?
I mean, I don't see any positive right now. We wanted to come into this tournament and playing well, getting better. And, I mean, I feel like today we took a step back. And, I mean, we learned some things that we need to do better. But, I mean, it's going to be a good week of practice for us. And, I mean, like I said, we wanted to use this tournament to build and get better, and we didn't do that today.
Mason?
Yeah, we just have to have a good week of practice. There's no time to start questioning things, but at the same time, we have to right the ship going forward. Because if this happens next week, we're done.
To our left?
Laura Keeley with the Raleigh News and Observer. Seth, you said you learned some things that you guys need to do better. What did you learn from this game?
We need to be sharper. I mean, play a lot harder from the start. Things like that. I mean, we got to share the ball, and I mean, we didn't come out to the game with matching their energy. And I mean, if we do that next week, it's over. Like Mason said. So we gotta. I mean, it's tournament format. We gotta get off to better starts and things like that.
In front of us.
Connor O'Neill with the Burlington Times News. Mason, it seemed like you established some offensive momentum in the second half there, and every time you guys did, they had an answer. How deflating was that?
Yeah, to put a run together, you got to get stops. I thought the 3 they hit in the corner off our initial, we came right out of the half and scored. They seem to always have an answer, and I mean, that's how they kept us from getting back in the game.
To the left.
Andrew Bean with the Duke Chronicle. Seth, did you guys feel like you were getting good looks from beyond the arc tonight, or what goes into a night when you guys aren't shooting as well as you might regularly?
We got a lot of good looks, but I mean they didn't fall. I mean our offense wasn't sharp from the start. I mean we weren't cutting hard and things like that, and getting good shot and screening hard and things like that. So I mean that always plays into your shooting. So like I said, we didn't match the energy from the start.
Ken to the left.
Tom Welborn, WBFT in Sanford. Mike, what will be your regimen over the next several days as you prepare for the tournament?
Yeah, we'll try to figure that out after the press conference and talking with the staff and how we use these days, to get better. We're either going to play Thursday or Friday, so we don't know where and we don't know the date. So we'll just have to get together as a staff. Right now, we're just trying to respond to you all, for the game, but we haven't had time to set any plans yet.
Front row.
Mike, they played you pretty well at home, and now they've beaten you twice in a row. Is there something about what they do that presents a difficult matchup for you guys?
Well, they're very athletic, and they're deep. He plays, a lot of guys, and if those guys, all of them contributed tonight. Claire, I mean, he had 2 big buckets when it was a 2 and a 4-point game. And when that happens, it gives them life. I think one of the main consistent things was I didn't think we were ready to play up there, and I didn't think we were ready to play here. So, we're not going to beat – a lot of people would win these 2 games against us, if we don't show up to compete at the level that we need to. And they sense that. You sense that when you're competing, that the other team is not as sharp as the team you just saw on tape. I mean, our team over the last couple of weeks, the last 10 days, has played great. But we didn't, we weren't that team tonight. Which, I mean, that's why it's not a video game.
Take 2 more questions. First one there.
Coach David Glenn from ACCSports.com and the David Glenn Show. You called a timeout just 90 seconds in. Is that a reaction to that entire 90 seconds, or did you see a lot of warning signs even leading into the game?
No, I just saw it right then in the first 90 seconds. We called 2 sets that we never ran, and we didn't play. We were not there. Look, I do this. This is what I do. I know when you do your radio show, you do a great job. If you were, after that first commercial, if you weren't doing it, you'd have to give yourself a motivational talk because you would sense it wasn't going. No, I'm not really. I mean, you do it long enough, hey, this ain't right. This just isn't right. And you try to right the ship right away. And, we weren't able to do that to the extent that we needed.
Last question to our left.
Coach, were you happy with the way Rashid responded coming off the bench today?
Yeah, well, Rashid did a good job. And but it's not about one guy, this was not a good night for us. And the one of the things during this time of the year, and this is what Maryland feels right now, is that if you lose its final, our team did not feel that. And now we have to understand that that's the way it is. I mean, if you don't do it, it's done. I don't care what your record was or whatever, it's over. It's one and done. And we didn't play like one and done tonight. And they did, and they won. And that's, going into this next tournament, everybody's in the same boat. And the team that can feel that the most has an advantage. I would hope that that's something that we could feel going into the NCAA tournament.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thanks.